What's up, everybody? This is Johnny Basement, and we are here in the basement where it all begins, emerging from the depths, starting from the bottom, working to the top. Hit that subscribe button and that bell notice, and while we're on here live, please hit the like button. Please hit the like button so you know when we're talking. Now I'm going to introduce my buddy Lou Talks. If you guys have been here before, then you already know. We already had our KD is weak discussion, and that's something that Lou and I absolutely agree on. KD is weak, so we had a big one on that. But this topic we're coming into today, LeBron and Jordan, man, that's what we're talking about today. Lou and I have been debating on this many a night. We've been debating on this topic. And now I'm going to bring him in. Lou has changed his jersey 15 times today because he didn't know what to wear. That's usually what happens when you get nervous. All right, so.
Well, the reason why I wore this jersey at the end of the day is because my boy Keith Hernandez did get into the Ring of Honor for the, in
well
deserved.
Field. Well deserved. We agree on that. Well deserved, man.
Overdue.
Way overdue. Way overdue.
That's why I'm kind of glad we have a new owner. Gonna change things, but
Uncle Steve.
That's enough about that. Uncle Steve and Titi Alex. That's his wife's name. They're both from Queens.
Yeah, sorry, I went against the Wilpons' plan of ruining the Mets,
Oh, I'm so happy. That's just like a breath of fresh air. But anyway, let's get back. We're going to get to this because me and John, for the last 3 years, we can say that we have gone back and forth, not saying that either one of us hate either one of these players. We both respect them. We both respect 100%. Them. I think, we know who they are, what they have brought to the game, how they changed the game. Absolutely. In every aspect. So it's not that we hate one or like the other, vice versa. Absolutely. Because we all know that LeBron James is the most hated player on the planet, but that's
for no reason. For no reason.
I agree.
To personally hate him for no reason. Go ahead.
Yeah, but here we're gonna go. You want to go first, since LeBron?
Well, my only question is, do you think this is a Walter Payton Barry that close, or you think Jordan's just leagues ahead? Head and shoulders above not only LeBron but everybody. Is that the difference that we're talking about here, or is it more of a Payton Sanders kind of thing?
I think the problem is definitely I'm not going to. Hopefully, you're neither are going to bring out points that people speak about all the time. I'm going to try to bring out points that people don't speak about, because at the end of the day, everybody says the same thing: championship. It's not all about championships, because we spoke about Robert Horry,
7-0, right?
Exactly. So I don't want to say, 6-0, 6 MVPs. There's a lot more that goes into this conversation.
Well, I think that. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
I was saying there's points that are made, but they're not driven the right way. So there obviously would be some points that are probably going to come up. They're just not driven the right way amongst fans. This isn't, we're diehard fans speaking to diehard fans. So there are points that I hear a lot, but a lot of people don't back them up right. When it does come to the championships or six rings, there's so much that can be broken down so easily. And there are things that probably will come up that just aren't expressed properly. I guess I can put it that way.
100%. No, I agree with you. Kind of like, little off subject rappers, people like the old school rappers from the 90s and 80s compared to these new rappers that I still consider mumble rappers. It's just a lot of the young LeBron lovers or fans have never really seen Michael Jordan live in action, watching.
And that's funny because I am the old school guy.
Yeah, me too. We're there. But, watching a game live, especially Michael Jordan beating Cleveland or, a couple of other big shots that he did, watching them live gives it it's different, compared to watching videos, so it's a little bit different,
Yep. There are a lot of people that are highlight watchers and they don't really know. They just go off that, or they, even talk about games that way. So anyway.
Let's get ready to rumble. How to say that? I've been waiting since 2 days to say that, John.
No, I'm sure you have. I've been laying in the pool all day, man. That's how worried I was about this. Anyway, yeah, you got LeBron and Jordan. LeBron's hated because he's the closest thing to Jordan. It's the closest thing we've ever seen to Jordan. That's why he's so hated. There's no other reason to hate this guy this much. There's no other reason. He's the closest guy that can compete for Jordan's GOATness.
We're gonna start disagreeing so early, John. We're gonna start. Wow, we're disagreeing already. But that's the good thing about this. No, he's not the closest to Jordan. Not even statistically, yes, he's not. You're gonna tell me you're gonna take him over Kobe?
Sure, but we're not having a LeBron Kobe argument here.
But don't say he's the closest because he's not.
He is the closest, man. LeBron has beaten. There's a lot of things LeBron has done that Jordan has not done besides the 6 rings. Besides his 6 rings, there's a lot of things LeBron has done that Jordan hasn't. Jordan has never carried it. He's never carried a team on his back. Never carried a team on his back. Name one. Because the excuses Jordan gets, LeBron doesn't get those excuses. He doesn't.
Okay. Did Jordan win a ring without recruiting superstars?
What did Jordan do in the 80s when he came out? He didn't beat any of the players in that era. None of them.
Yes.
And LeBron has beaten all the greats of his era, all of them in the finals.
Okay, let's start the first 2 years. Since you want to bring the early years. Who missed the first?
Well, of course we're going to bring early years because that's what Jordan doesn't want to. No Jordan fan wants to talk about his early years. None.
I do.
You only want to talk about pockets of time.
I'm not the typical Jordan fan. Remember, let's just take the first 2 years in the playoffs. Oh, you can't really say nothing because LeBron missed the playoffs his first 2 years.
Okay, well, he took a no-name team to the finals in his third. What did Jordan do?
What did Jordan do? We're still talking about his first 2 years. So I think the floor is mine right now, John. Sorry to say that because we're talking about the first 2 years. First 2 years, I think he played Larry. He played Larry, if I'm not mistaken.
And the Celtics,
47 and dropped close to 62. Even if he lost. That's big dog. That's big dog numbers, especially to a guy nicknamed the Legend. You know what I'm saying? His first 2 years. So yes, he did have a little bit of problems when it came to the bad boys and it came to, because those teams were
little more than a little. But go ahead.
I agree. Sorry. He had problems. But look at the teams he lost. Look at that Celtics team. How many Hall of Famers were on that team?
Right. You're walking right into all my points. Keep going, man. You're actually helping me out. You're helping me out. Keep going. That's why I'm sitting here quiet, man.
Okay. So his first 2 years, even on top of that, besides him breaking his ankle his third year.
He got swept his first 2 years in the playoffs. So keep going.
But look at the numbers he put up.
It doesn't matter. See, stop right there. That's the argument LeBron doesn't get. LeBron puts up massive numbers, but he's always, he doesn't win. He doesn't win. When Michael doesn't win, he gets all the accolades for what he did. Wow, he got the numbers. KD even gets that. Look at the numbers he put up, though. When LeBron puts up numbers, he doesn't get that.
He didn't put up the numbers that Jordan put.
It doesn't matter. He still got the L. The whole point is he still got the L. He got swept twice.
You want to say that?
He still got the L no matter what the points. I'm defending LeBron, and this is what LeBron goes through. It's what he goes through. He gets the L. Well, he put up 51 points in game 1 against that Warrior team, and all they talked about is how he chewed out J.R. Smith for forgetting what the score was.
Oh, because he was on Hennessy. He was drinking Hennessy.
He had 51 points, but nobody cared about that because they don't want to focus on that. So we got to do apples to apples here, buddy.
Okay. So once again, my man made
Jordan
the playoffs.
Jordan could not beat any of the greats of his era. Keep going.
What do you mean? In the beginning?
In the 80s, he couldn't beat any of them. None of them.
What team, and be honest with me, in the East, was better than Detroit and the Bad Boys and that freaking Larry Bird and the Celtics? What team in the East? Please tell me in this era.
The point that I'm making, to stay on point, is that Jordan could never carry a team on his back to the finals. LeBron did that. LeBron's carried teams on his back to the finals where he was the only star on the team. Jordan never did that. Not before or even after. Even after the Bulls, he never did it either. Never went to the playoffs after the Bulls. Before the Bulls, before, in the 80s, he never beat any of the stars. He couldn't beat Magic and Kareem. He never beat Bird. Never beat Bird in the Celtics. Never beat the Pistons until '91 when they were done.
Yeah,
he never beat any of them.
When he
but
was,
okay,
when he
but
was in the
he put
league,
up great numbers though.
He started getting players around him, not superstars, not all stars, good players around him, little by little. You don't just and it happens. Same thing with LeBron. I'm not taking nothing away from LeBron. You know, he stood in Cleveland, did his thing in Cleveland.
He took,
and then after. I mean, he took a bum team. You know,
he took a bum team. They got swept by a phenomenal team in the Spurs, but he took a bum team. That's my point. Jordan never did that. LeBron does things that he never gets accolades for. He always, the 2011 Mavericks. Okay, you want to talk about that one? That's fine. I mean, I'll give you that one in a heartbeat. He had a miserable one, and Jordan never melted in any finals or any playoff game. I'll give you that. So, but that's what LeBron is known for. The 11 Mavericks. And that he got swept here by the Spurs. Of course he got swept by the Spurs.
That's not the only thing he's known for. He's known for disappearing in the fourth quarter. He's known for passing instead of taking the big shot. It's not just that.
Did you look up who has more clutch shots in the last 2 minutes in the playoffs?
You let me know. I'm ready, brother.
Yeah, I'm sure you are. I hope you did study. You kidding me?
Look, John,
Jordan.
One thing I'm going to tell you about Johnny Basement, you know, straight off the bat. He is a sports almanac. Okay, you ever seen Marty McFly that was it Back to the Future 2 that had the sports almanac? This man not only does he know baseball, basketball, football, hockey. Like I don't even know people's name. This guy knows names, dates, times, what pitch they threw. So yes, I had to do my research.
Thank you for setting me up for probably the next thing I say is going to be way off.
Oh, just like LeBron said, he was the greatest player and went 13 for 32 against Golden State. Oh yeah, I was setting you up for that joke too.
Oh, that's okay. Good, you had it.
I have to tell you this. I did my research. I am going to read off some of the stats. Once again, this is the basement. I'm not ESPN. I'm not, Stephen A. Smith. I don't know things off the top of my head, so I have to write things down, especially coming into the basement in his home turf.
Boy.
Yes. Okay. So let's go. Let's talk about Hold on, because like I said, I'm sorry if I'm reading something off. I feel like Drake reading off my.
It's okay. I like how you spun away from how Jordan never carried a team to the finals on his own.
How you figure?
I mean, with bum players, obviously not on his own, but with bum players.
It's not okay. Back in the 90s, and you should know, back in the 90s and the 80s, there wasn't really big free agency. It wasn't like these guys were free agents the way they are now.
You got Rodman.
Back in the days, yes, but it wasn't like he was the one. I forgot the name of the general manager for the Bulls that gets no credit, but should get most of the credits, and also deserves the credit for breaking up one of the best dynasties because he was jealous. We'll leave it at that. I mean, playoffs, you want 25 seconds, 24 seconds. I mean, we can say Jordan is 10 for 19, 53%, while LeBron James is 8 for 23 at 35% with 25 seconds left, in the fourth quarter, in the finals.
Where he had tougher competition, but I hear you.
Who?
LeBron had faced way more tougher competition than Jordan did.
Look.
He did. LeBron's combined competition in the finals combined is 764 win percentage. 764.
How many teams did he beat with over 60 wins? Because I'm looking at it right here. So Michael Jordan was always the number one seed. Neither was LeBron. Let's be real. Okay.
Jordan was always on the most dominant team. LeBron wasn't.
No, he wasn't. He wasn't always the number one seed.
Really? What finals did what finals did Jordan walk into where you're like, man, I don't know if they're going to beat Portland. I don't know if they're going to beat Utah.
The Jazz was the number one seed.
Nobody was nervous about that. No.
Oh, no, not nervous. We're talking about the record.
Yeah, but I'm saying there wasn't one finals. Everybody's very big on who Jordan played. Well, Jordan couldn't beat Magic, Kareem, or Bird, but he could beat Sean Kemp, Patrick Ewing, and Barkley. These are guys that he beat.
Alonzo Mourning, Reggie Miller.
No rings, no rings.
Clyde the Glide.
Yeah, well, you know what? Those are one Hall. You know what? If you really want to go there, Portland had one Hall of Famer, Clyde Drexler. Seattle had one Hall of Famer, Gary Payton. Utah had two with Malone and Stockton. Who are on these teams? None of these guys.
These
None of these
teams
guys
play
were winners. They never
defense,
won
John. They
anything.
play defense. They play defense.
They never
This-
won anything. No, everybody talks about what LeBron hasn't won. These guys never won anything. LeBron's competition was the Spurs, the Warriors. These guys, how many Hall of Famers and rings are on those teams?
LeBron.
How many?
LeBron. It doesn't matter.
How many? Well, the
It's not
competition was
about.
harder,
it's
man.
not- what are you crazy? Do you remember when
Crazy.
Michael
Who was great
Do
on
you
Portland?
rem-
What great
Who-
teams
who-
has he beaten?
Let me ask you a question. I know they didn't win no championships, but remember the '90s Patrick Ewing Knicks? It
Again,
wasn't good, John.
they was great, but they
reason-
didn't win. But they
You know
weren't.
why
They,
they didn't
weren't the
win? Why
Celtics or
they
the
didn't win?
Pistons, man. They weren't the
Because of
Celtics or the
Michael
Pistons
Jordan.
that Jordan could not beat.
Okay, let's talk about the Charlotte team when they had Grandmama, they had freaking Alonzo Mourning, and they had Muggsy Bogues. You
think that team was supposed to beat the Bulls?
They were
You
number
played in
one
the
seed.
Eastern
They were-
Conference, man. Eastern Conference wasn't that hard. You had a couple of teams,
Who
man.
has LeBron played in the Eastern Conference? He's like, you know who he reminds me of? He reminds me of.
But it's who he
Tom
beat in the
Brady.
finals is what I'm talking about. He's beaten Tim Duncan. He's beaten KD. He's beaten Curry. He's beaten these guys. He had
Okay.
he was part of the greatest comeback ever in the finals, down 3-1 to a 73-win team.
I give you that much. That's the only one I accept. Anything with
Because
the
he
Heat, I
did.
don't accept.
Just so everybody remembers, LeBron led both teams. Now that included Curry, Thompson, Draymond, all the great shooters they had on that team. LeBron led both teams in blocks, rebounds, steals, assists, the whole thing, and points. Led them both.
Talking about Golden
Down
State.
3-1, but he doesn't even get that. If Michael Jordan came back to being down 3-1 against a
He
team
was
like
never-
that,
he
it'd have been
was
chapter
never
11
down.
in The Last
No,
Dance.
he
It would've
never
been.
was ever down on the team.
Right, because he was
never-
always on the most dominant team. That's my point.
No, he wasn't always the dominant. Let's look back.
What
He
team did
wasn't
the Bulls
always-
face? LeBron has walked into the finals against the Warriors. No one expected the Cavs to win any one of those. They walked in against the Spurs. No one really expected them to win. The 11 Mavericks, which I already gave you, that was the one that they should have won.
Utah was an awesome team. Utah wasn't an awesome team.
What'd they win? What'd they win?
Nothing.
That's what
Nothing.
my point is. Jordan
But
never
you know
beat
why they didn't
anybody.
win? No.
Never beat anybody,
let's
bro.
roll
He
it
didn't beat
back.
the tough guys of his era.
You know what?
My
happened
point
to
is
people in
LeBron
his
has
era?
beaten all the tough guys of his era. All the great players of his era has lost to LeBron in the finals. All of them.
After he did the super team.
All of them lost.
After
But it
the
doesn't
super
matter. You
team.
want to throw a super team, and that goes right back to my point about how LeBron still made finals without a super team. Still made it.
But didn't win.
Oh, so you're saying the Spurs beating that 07 Cavs team was an upset?
No, but it wasn't like Michael Jordan had all
That's
these.
what I mean. He went into a finals without having the favored team by far. He went into that finals. Everybody knew the Spurs were going to dominate them. The point is, he was 23 and he carried his team to the finals.
Is because
When has Jordan ever
anybody
done
that
that? Oh,
faced
wait.
Michael Jordan was not the favorite. Anybody that faced Michael Jordan, you know what? All these great Charles Barkley, Patrick Ewing, Reggie Miller,
No ring. Keep going.
Why?
No championships.
Why?
I'm saying
Why?
LeBron's
Why?
faced harder
Why?
competition.
Why they have no rings? Because
Huh.
Michael Jordan
Okay,
took them out.
why did the Celtics and the Pistons, why do they have rings? Who did they beat along the way?
Well, the
No,
Pistons
Jordan
beat-
never beat the greats of his era. That's my whole point. He never beat the greats of his era.
He beat the bad boys after three or four tries.
Yeah,
but he beat-
okay. And what did the bad boys do after Jordan beat them? They were old, tired. They weren't even a team
they
anymore.
They walked off the court like
They
freaking
did, like
sausages.
babies. They did. But that was after how many times of beating him? The team was old. The Lakers, when they beat him in 91, they were old. These weren't teams that hung around. When Bird and Magic played and they beat each other in finals, they were around the next year. The Pistons were around the next year. Now, at the time that Jordan beat them, these guys weren't around the next year. They weren't
They were around
around.
for a
These
long
weren't
time.
dominant teams anymore. So he beat them on the way down. He beat
I
them
don't know.
on the way down.
I always say this.
Say so.
I will be the first person to say, oh, I'll tell you something. You want to hear something? Did I tell you what Steve Kerr said when they asked Steve Kerr who
Yeah,
was
bring
the
it.
GOAT? I'm
Yeah,
gonna
bring
say it. So Steve Kerr said they asked Steve Kerr who is the GOAT? Is it Michael Jordan or LeBron James? He goes, Well, I really don't have a say in it because they both gave me 3 rings. Okay.
That's funny. So again, the Warriors beating the Cavs, that was an upset? Was it an upset?
No, because they had the better team.
No, just say it, because everybody knows it was no.
But they had the better team. But so when Michael Jordan went against Clyde Drexler in Portland, were they the favorites? No.
How many Hall of Famers were on that Portland team compared to the Warriors team that LeBron faced?
It's a different
Clyde Drexler, 1. How many future Hall of Famers are on that Warriors team? Why did the Warriors go out and get KD right after they dropped that 3-1 choke job they had against LeBron? Why did they do that? Because they didn't want that to happen again. They got him because of LeBron and the Cavs.
John, I'm going to disagree with you. I'm going to tell you one thing. Michael Jordan faced teams that.
You're telling me that Portland was tougher than the Warriors? That Jordan faced a tougher team in the Trailblazers than the Golden State Warriors?
Who plays defense on the Warriors?
Dude,
I'm waiting. Green.
They won 4 out of 6 finals. How many did Portland go to?
Because they have outscored their opposition. They don't play defense.
They don't need to. That's my point. They don't need to.
When Michael Jordan was playing, you couldn't even play zone.
They don't need to. The competition is bad. It was worse than what he played. 764 win percentage. I'll say it again, combined. Jordan fans, maybe not so much you because you're not talking about the rings, but Jordan fans talk about rings all the time. The teams he beat had none. The teams he lost to had plenty. He never beat top teams in his era, bro.
Let's talk about playoffs, okay?
Yep.
Michael Jordan. No. It's not spinning away. Because at the end of the day, you're saying, "Oh, who has it faced?" First of all, that's not
because you can't compare the Portland Trailblazers, who had Clyde Drexler, who's a Hall of Famer, versus Curry, Thompson, Draymond. You can't do it.
Utah 2 times. The Sonics.
The Sonics had Gary Payton, Hall of Famer. That's it. Who else? Sean Kemp, he won the Hall of Famer.
Dennis Shrimp. It's not about.
They weren't Hall of Famers, bro.
You know why they weren't Hall of Famers? Because there was other people in that position that were better than them. And the Golden State right now, half the players don't play defense.
They don't have to. They win. They shoot all that they do. LeBron walked in against the Spurs, who had rings and were champions in a dynasty at the time.
So you're going to tell me that Michael Jordan
Warriors were a dynasty at the time? Huh?
They changed the game because of Mike Jordan. You know what I'm saying? You can't hand check. So they wanted to make it an offensive game. Okay? So when back in the days when you went up for a layup, you think Steph Curry would have gone up for a layup every single time?
Comparing the errors, well, that's not today's players' fault, man. That it was.
Well, he just finished telling me that he didn't play against.
You telling me LeBron wouldn't go back in time, be able to do that? The size and the athleticism he has, he wouldn't have lasted back then.
You don't think he would have got elbowed in the face?
He gets elbowed in the face now.
No. Nowadays,
not like against the Pistons, but the level of competition was not like it is now.
Look at the Pistons. Let's talk about, like I said, let's talk about the
team
Knicks.
Jordan couldn't beat until they rolled. Let's talk about that.
We'll talk about the Knicks. Anthony Mason, Charles Oakley, Patrick Ewing, Harper. Them dudes, you went up for a layup, you were not getting a clean layup. You were getting an elbow, you were getting pushed, you were getting something.
Okay. It was a rougher era, but that'd be like me saying, well, Montana's better than Brady because Montana had to worry about getting knocked out in games without penalties and $40,000 fines. You can't, it's a different era.
Oh, exactly.
It's a different era, man, but that doesn't mean that Jordan is that much better than LeBron. He still played in the 2000s when things lightened up back then. Jordan couldn't even carry the Wizards to the playoffs. Couldn't even bring it to the playoffs, man.
My man, okay.
LeBron has carried teams with no names on them.
At the age, okay, how old is LeBron James right now?
Oh, LeBron is 37. He averaged 30 points a game this year, 52% shot percentage. That's over 50%.
And he was considered the MVP candidate?
At age 37, he had better numbers than Jordan did at 28.
And at 38, Michael Jordan was a front runner for the MVP.
Fourth ranked
38.
Player. Yeah. 38, 22.
He averaged 35. He averaged 25 points, almost 7 rebounds, and almost 6 assists.
And who's number one at age 30? Who's number one at age 35?
You know what happened to him? He blew his knee. Okay.
Yeah, I know that with the injury.
Did you consider LeBron James a candidate for MVP?
Absolutely.
He didn't even play half the games.
He played 56 games this year.
Out of how many?
There's 82 game season. There's
Okay.
82 game season.
Let's
Played
talk about
56.
that.
It's more than half.
When have you
As
seen
it's
Michael
41.
Jordan hurt and not play the playoffs?
Maybe he's not in good shape when he got older, like LeBron is. Maybe he didn't want to
never
work out
missed.
as much. I don't know.
Didn't miss.
Maybe he didn't have to drive at that age. He didn't make the playoffs with. He didn't make the playoffs with Leitner. He had Tyronn Lue. He had Charles Oakley. He couldn't make the playoffs with that team.
He was calling his manager like LeBron did. Like, I don't want to play today. I'm going to take 2 days off. Michael Jordan didn't do that.
LeBron doesn't take days. When does he take 2 days off? You're talking about Kawhi Leonard. Kawhi Leonard is that guy.
I'm not talking about Kawhi Leonard. We're talking about LeBron James because LeBron James is the face or was the face for the last 10, 15 years of the NBA. Do you understand that the commissioner told, and look it up, said, if people are going to pay money for you guys, they need to notify the league when they're going to take days off because of this, because of their hurt.
That I agree with. I agree with that. I never liked the rule. I mean, Kawhi Leonard's the king of that, but I never liked that guys can just sit out when they want. I'm not going to argue that point. That shouldn't be. Okay. I get that point because today is all about your brand and money, and that goes with a ton of players. That's a whole different talk show. So that point I agree with. Because there's really, I don't like that either. It's just the same thing as people not playing in the playoffs in the NFL because they don't want to get hurt because their contract is up. That didn't happen way back when either. But
that's
it's comparing errors.
I can't stand that.
Neither can I. Neither can I.
If I'm taking my son or my daughter to a game and I'm spending 100, not even say 100 because that's chump change. Usually to go to a good game, basketball, football, baseball, you're going to spend $250 or $300 easily.
Easy. Yep.
And that might just be on tickets. That's not even counting parking. That's not counting chips, beer, or whatever the case might be. A good day in the ballpark with 2 kids is probably going to cost you $500 easily.
Plus parking, traffic, headaches, and coming after a long day of work. And having to get up early the next day. So I got you on that.
And this guy, LeBron, is taking days off because he feels that.
I told you, I agree with you on that point. I'm not going to debate that. I don't like the era of doing that. Or Kyrie can take off whenever he feels like and gets paid.
Oh, yeah.
I don't really have to tell anybody. So the era of the NBA doing that, I don't like that either. Because other sports, even Tom Brady himself can say, I'm not going to show up on Sunday. Can't do it. No, I don't know why they get away with it. But anyway, that's the league. The league is letting that stuff happen. They have to change it. That I agree with you with. When it comes to LeBron and the teams, even when Jordan left the Bulls, what did the Bulls do the next year? They went to the semifinals against the Knicks, went to Game 7 with Pippen. What happens to LeBron teams when he leaves?
Wait. Before we go past that, because I have to say this, and I'm going to say this because Scottie Pippen said that LeBron was better, right?
I don't know. I didn't read his book. I mean, I'm not a big Pippen fan. I'm just saying.
He's salty. It's
That's not where I got that from, but I know he's salty towards Jordan. I know he wouldn't be where he is without Jordan. But
hold on, wait. We're gonna go real quick point because this has to be said. That year that they played against the Knicks, right? I think it was like Game 6. It was in Chicago. It was like 4 seconds left. Phil Jackson drew up the play, and he wanted Kukoc to take the last shot, right? And Scottie Pippen sat down. Didn't want to be part of the last play.
I know. Hey, I'm not here to defend Scottie Pippen.
No. I know you're not, but if you mention Scottie Pippen, I have to mention this because people are going to read what Scottie Pippen said about Michael Jordan, and I want them to have a background on this. So he was like, I'm the man. Jordan's not here. I'm going to take the last shot. And Phil said, no. Yep. My man Kukoc, Tony's going to take this last shot.
I know about that.
He sat down. He didn't even want to take the court. He sat down, and it was a big controversy. And what happened? Boop, Kukoc, 3, game over. So Scottie Pippen has no ins in this casa. You know what I'm saying? I love Scottie Pippen. I think he's one of the greatest defensive players. And yes, Michael Jordan thrived because Scottie Pippen was able to lock down their best defense or the best offense player, hands down. I'm not going to take that away from him. But
yeah,
Scottie,
I'm just saying.
Scottie has no say here.
Jordan's played. He played under Phil Jackson. Never went to the finals without him. LeBron has played with some of the worst outside of Spoelstra. He's had some of the worst coaches that he's played with. He's been basically his own coach out there. He's a facilitator like no one's business out there, man.
Well, whose fault
LeBron
is that?
James, huh?
Whose fault is that? That's
I
his
don't
fault.
know.
How
Right,
many,
but I'm
how
just
many
saying,
coaches that he got
Jordan
fired?
yes, LeBron is one with good people around him, but not what Jordan had around him. Jordan never won before the Bulls with all the players on it, and he never won after. He never went to the playoffs after. My whole point of this deal is what LeBron does for teams that Jordan never did without the supporting cast, because he has gone to the finals without it. That's my whole
Because
point
Jordan
of this.
played in a better era.
Another era. He got into the era where the stars of the 90s were not the ones he faced in the 80s. So he was blessed to get a whole nother opportunity against players that were not Magic, Kareem, and Bird, and Dumars and Isaiah and all them. In the 90s, you had Barkley, Kemp, and players like that. I will throw Ewing in there. These guys didn't win anything.
Why? Because he stopped them.
Oh, but why couldn't he win it all in the 80s? Because don't say because he didn't have a team around him. He couldn't even go to the finals.
I'm not going to say that.
He couldn't even go to the playoffs with the Wizards. The playoffs. I'm just saying the playoffs. Couldn't even go.
Yeah.
Couldn't even go.
There was no zone like we have now. There was hand checking that they have over there that we don't have now.
Then why isn't everybody going to all the finals and all the time?
Because there's
why did LeBron? Well, then LeBron shouldn't be the only one going to 8 finals in a row. This should be happening on a yearly basis. Everybody should be going to the finals, and it's that easy.
Off of BS. Okay.
Think about every team LeBron switched to, which is that's the era now. Teams just everybody's switching to, but still gelled and carried these teams to playoffs, man, to finals. That's not easy to just put a superstar team. You're a sports fan enough to know that putting a whole bunch of big names together and they're all just going to win. No, that doesn't happen like that.
In certain leagues.
But why isn't everybody doing that? 8 years in a row, LeBron went. No one's ever done it. No,
yes,
shouldn't that have been happening more often than not? If it's so easy nowadays, is it easier? Yes, it's not as rough. But everybody should be going to the finals 7, 8 years in a row. No one's done it. Even the Warriors team couldn't do it.
Well, that's a different debate, because I'm always going to say that the Warriors was built on Mark Jackson and not Steve Kerr, but that's a different subject.
Oh, I agree with that. 8 years in a row, man, LeBron's gone. No one's ever done it. And that's on different teams.
Who has he faced in the East?
Doesn't matter. Who's he beating in the finals?
Who has he been fished? No, but you have to get to the final. You have to go through the East to get to the finals. What's the competition that LeBron has faced?
Well, when he carried that team in 07 with nobody on his back, he did beat that Pistons team that had Richard Hamilton and Rasheed Wallace and them in the Eastern Conference Finals.
Yeah, you have Prince and all them dudes. Yes, and you had
the Celtics had Garnett, Ray Allen. He beat them with weaker teams, with weaker Cavs teams.
Yeah,
actually, as a matter of fact, LeBron does get blamed, not by you, but LeBron gets blamed for starting all this stuff. It was really Garnett and Ray Allen joined Paul Pierce on the Celtics where this era kind of started.
No, it was
with Rondo.
It was before that, John.
No, I'm talking about this era because LeBron gets I know Barkley and Drexler and they all hooked. I know things like that, but it doesn't get as recognized with social media and everything as today as if LeBron was the first one to ever do this and he's so hated because he left Cleveland. Garnett and Ray Allen were really the ones that started that in this kind of era with Paul Pierce. LeBron gets blamed for this all the time.
Not that he gets blamed. The reason why he gets crucified, and I'm going to say crucified. I know he is
crucified. Go ahead.
It's a horrible word, and I hate to use that word. The reason why he's crucified is that the whole the big, I forgot what it was called. The big it was an ESPN. He's sitting down. I'm gonna take my talents to South Beach. You know what I'm saying? He made himself bigger than the game. And that's where I think he lost a lot of people. He was bigger than the game. And wait, hold on. Go ahead. I have a counterpoint to that too. I thought he was bigger than the game. It was all about me, LeBron, and I'm glad they lost the first season. But one thing I am going to say now, in his defense, how dare you, Cleveland? How dare you, Cleveland, burn his jerseys? How dare you, Cleveland, call him a front runner and all this stuff? Do you understand the man took extensions less than what he could have got, because he could have been a free agent even longer than that, but he didn't. He did what he did. He tried. It was the organization wasn't putting the best pieces around him. So you know what he said? Hey, this just like if I was a Met fan when the Wilpons were there, these people are not going to give me what the tools I need to become the best player ever. I'm going to leave. If he would have just left without this whole extravaganza, the decision and all that, I promise you, or the one, not two, not three, not four, not five championship, I think it would have went a little bit different. Whoever his PR person should have been fired, but he's crucified. But one thing I'm going to say, I'm sorry, John, I don't mean to go off subject. That man is a humanitarian. You know that in Cleveland, Ohio, that man has schools. He has programs for kids. He has programs for their families to make sure they have jobs. When it comes to LeBron James and what he does for the community, your hands down. You know what Michael Jordan does? He double dips. Do you understand that Michael Jordan has more jails? He is invested in jails and stuff. Look it up, John. I promise you. I'm not even talking BS. So you're gonna tell me that a kid, you have sneakers out for $200, they're gonna steal and rob for $200, and then when they go to jail, you're gonna live off that too? I don't like that.
Well, LeBron gets tortured. I will look it up. You know I will. LeBron gets tortured also because we live in a social media era. Jordan during that era, Babe Ruth, or Magic Johnson, a lot of these guys were lucky there was not a social media era back then. They would have been caught out on a lot of stuff. So LeBron, and LeBron Jordan also
is an a-hole.
Right. LeBron also, yes, he did come back to Cleveland. He did acknowledge that he probably shouldn't have done the show. He promised he'd bring a ring back. He got them a ring in 52 years. And the guy has stood up and been crucified for that. The guy is one of the rare players of today's game that lives out his entire contract before he goes off and trades. Other guys don't get crucified. Oh, I'm just not going to play. Or I'll sit here. I'm going to sign an extension and now demand a trade. Right?
I broke my nail. I can't play.
Right. LeBron never did any of that, but he doesn't get any credit for this stuff, man. LeBron lives out his contracts, then he moves on. He shouldn't have done the TV show. I think he was put up to it. Not one, not two, not three. LeBron and Wade and Bosh aren't the first guys to talk trash about what they're going to do. So we all acted at the time that this is the first guy to ever do things like this, and it's not the case. It's just the status of the player, okay? The status of the player, the status of him leaving. Players didn't really do of his status just leave a team like that on TV. You know what I mean? It was awful, but he made up for it. He's still getting crucified for it, or calling himself, the one and whatever else coming out of. He was young. He was young, and for a young man coming out with the status he came out with, he's actually done really well and very mature with a lot of it.
Awesome, man. Once again, I know that we're debating both of them, so we have to take a stand, but LeBron James.
No, you're right. LeBron is humanitarian. He shouldn't be hated the way he's hated. No. That's my whole point out here, is to defend the player, and it goes down to the player. Before people talk about, as you said in the beginning, I'm not here to say Jordan's garbage, because that is a joke. That is an absolute joke. He's not, and you're not here to say LeBron is either. We're here because I like defending LeBron, because he gets hated on like he does nothing. Like his finals are horrible and he always loses. To say LeBron always loses in the finals is telling me that the Spurs and Warriors beating them was an upset. The only upset was the Mavericks. These guys were not upsets. The Warriors were supposed to beat the Cavs, especially the 73-win team. All right, yeah, LeBron. Yeah. If he's going to be the GOAT, okay, LeBron's the number one team in the number one guy in the league, and number 2, 3, and 4 are all on the Warriors. J.R. Smith is one of your best players. Come on, man.
Kevin Love.
Daniel Marshall in 07 and Damon Jones. These are your Varishad. These are your players. Varishad was
I was going to say Sideshow Bob.
Well, that's what I'm saying. These are the guys that he's going to the finals with, man.
I understand, but it's a different. It's this era. One or two people can dominate. You know what I'm saying? Compared to, and I hate to say eras but eras makes people. Era makes changes, and okay. So let's get back, because we've been too lovey-dovey with both of them. I'm gonna ask you one question. Who's the biggest?
It had to be said, because most Jordan players most Jordan fans don't even give LeBron any of what he is as a person. They just trash him
Because
out.
the
So
haters,
yeah,
man,
like you
the
said.
haters, the haters. You know, at the end of the day, you have to appreciate greatness. You know what I'm saying? You have to appreciate a Tim Duncan. You have to appreciate a
Sound
Kevin
possessed.
Garnett. You know what I'm saying? You have to appreciate so many other players. Even what's this guy's name? Oh, damn, the guy he beat from Cleveland. Paxton, not Paxton. Hold on. Shooting guard from
Mark
Cleveland that he
Price.
beat. No,
Oh, he
Mark
was
Price.
on Cleveland. I know.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, what were you gonna say, man?
It's that you have to appreciate greatness. You know what I'm saying? Mutombo wasn't really on the best teams, but that man dominated. And people will be like, oh, he's soft, he's soft. No, it's not that he's soft. The dude wasn't on the best teams. But anyway, I got 3 questions for you.
Oh,
I don't want to get off subject. One is, who's the biggest flopper out of the 2?
you talking about flopping? Come
Flopping.
on, man.
Because
Flopping?
no. We've
Come
seen
on, man.
LeBron James is one of the best floppers and arguers.
Arguers? You want me to send you videos of, oh, no, I forgot when Jordan argues and yells at refs, it's passion. LeBron's a baby when he does it, but Jordan's passion. Look at the passion he's yelling at his teammates. If Michael Jordan was yelling at J.R. Smith for not knowing what was going on in the game after hitting 51 points, look at the passion. Look at the passion Jordan's bringing.
I was arguing with J.R. Smith. I was telling J.R. Smith, why are you not shooting the ball? There's only 3 seconds left. What are you doing? There's no timeout. Trust me, I know.
Yeah, dude. So that's what I'm talking about. Jordan would have been praised for that, man. And LeBron was like, look at him sitting down, because no one would acknowledge that he had 51 points and they should have won that game. Jordan would have trashed J.R. Smith out, and he would have been applauded for it. When Jordan yelled at the refs, go pull up a YouTube of Jordan running around and yelling at the refs. Even to this day, when LeBron's complained about when the Warriors, oh, look, he's such a baby. When the Warriors blew that 3-1 series, Curry, all of them were on and complaining and getting mad and getting uptight. Right. They're all passion, man. LeBron's not passionate. Yes, he's not passionate. We're
gonna do a little spitfire here.
Oh boy.
When has Michael Jordan been outscored by anybody coming off the bench?
Dude, I missed that. I'm sorry. Repeat it.
When has Michael Jordan been outscored by anybody coming off the bench in the playoffs or in the finals?
I don't know.
I can tell you that, hold on. Kawhi Leonard coming off the bench did it 3 times again against LeBron.
So you take Kawhi over LeBron? Is that what your point is? You take Kawhi over LeBron? Is that what your point?
Clutch time, yes. Clutch?
Really? How's he doing on the Clippers? How's that team going?
There hasn't been no clutch.
We're not going to turn it into a Kawhi versus LeBron. I'm just saying, how's that team? They were going to be the team everybody had to worry about.
We're talking about the Clippers.
LeBron and the Lakers don't want to face Kawhi and the Clippers. Well, they did, and what? I mean, dude, they're lucky they didn't face the Clippers. They're lucky. Well, why did the Clippers lose if they were going to be so dominant?
John, I'm going to shit on myself right now. You know who says that? Every Atlanta fan, when they see the Mets in first place, what do? Oh, it's the Mets. They're going to crumble.
I'm just saying, man, coming off.
Am I lying? Am I lying, John?
I could have spent the day digging for numbers on Jordan. I just didn't. I laid in the pool all day, man. Just went back on.
I know you sent me that picture, you bastard.
Yeah, I sent you a picture of me laying in the pool. That's how I know what, I wasn't searching for stuff from Jordan or who came off the bench. I don't know. I told you, you gave me good praise, and you know what? I don't know. I'm not going to win something. I don't know.
See, I want to argue points that people don't argue. You know what I'm saying?
I understand that.
Okay. You're going to laugh at this one. Okay, you're going to laugh at this one. Free throws.
LeBron sucks at free throws now.
No, not even LeBron. We're talking about if Jordan fouls somebody, right? And foul. I'm gonna say 80% of the people in the 80s and the 90s were doing this. In this era, not even LeBron can hit free throws. They shouldn't even be called free throws anymore.
LeBron's greatest free throw was the one that put him up by 4 points to ice that series against the Warriors. That's his greatest free throw.
After the block? After the block?
After the block, you're talking about free throws, so I'm being relevant to what you're
talking
talking
about. After the block.
Yeah, that was after the block and after Kyrie's shot. He hit the one free throw. That's his biggest one I can think of.
I got you. But don't tell me that I'm kind you brought the idiot into the conversation because I didn't want to bring him in. But Kyrie had a lot to do with that championship too.
Of course he did, man. Again, of course he had a lot to do with that. He's the greatest handler in the game. Kyrie Irving should have never left the Cavs. They still were not as dominant as the Warriors. They had him. You know, like the excuse that they ever give that Draymond, well, he missed game 5. How does that even game 5 even roll into game 6 and 7? Well, he killed the momentum. Draymond, he wasn't even the best player on the field on that series.
But I did kill the momentum. How can you not?
Come on. Okay. And a 73-9 team, how does Draymond Green missing one game? I can understand saying they lost that game because he was out. I'll give you that. But game 6 and 7, a 73-9, so devastated from game 5 and Draymond not playing that we are just never going to recover. And it was in Golden State, game 7. Are you telling me that, man, 2 games ago, Draymond was out? I hope we have enough for this. I'm sorry, that is weak.
So wait. Not weak.
It is weak.
Momentum is not part of the game?
Come on, man. Draymond?
I'm asking you a question. Is momentum
is, but not for, yes, momentum does matter, but not, you're telling me a 73-9 team can't handle that? Especially with the team they had. You have the greatest record in all-time history, and you missed Draymond Green. I believe he wasn't even top 3 statistically in that series for anything he was doing. I believe.
Top 3, he's not.
Come on, man. We're talking about Draymond killed the whole series. I mean, whose fault was it that he was out in game 5 anyway? Come on, Lou. That argument is weak, and you know it. Please.
Wait. I'm gonna try to. I got you. Okay.
Because if we're gonna go there, then in 2015, the year before when the Warriors won, well, LeBron didn't have Kevin Love or Kyrie Irving, but he doesn't get that excuse. If Draymond killed the series for the Warriors after that, he didn't have either one of those guys for the entire series the year before when they lost to the Warriors. But LeBron doesn't get that excuse. But the Warriors get it. Even from analysts, the Warriors get that excuse.
Was the Warriors up 3-1 that series?
That series, they beat Cavs in 6. But they had no Kyrie.
No.
And they had no Kevin Love.
No, wait. You're mistaken, brother. The LeBron stepping over Green.
That wasn't in that finals.
No,
talking about the very first finals between the Warriors and
No. We're talking about the technical that Green got. I think it was like game 6 or game 5. Don't quote me. Like I said, guys, my fans, I promise you, I'm not John. I don't.
I'm
everything. But anyway, hold on. It was in I think Golden State was up 3-1 or something of that nature.
Which series? The one that LeBron and the Cavs came back in? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, the one that he stepped over Green, and Green got suspended because he ended up getting 6 technicals, which back in the days, there was no such limit of technical. You can get as many technicals as you want.
I know, you love comparing errors. Keep going.
Because it's the truth, John. You know it.
But it doesn't matter. Like I said, then everybody should go to 8. Keep going with your point before we steer off on the same thing.
Yeah, we always steer over anything. Anyway, so he steps over Green. Green ends up trying to punch him in the nards, and he gets suspended. They win. Cavaliers win that game. They win the next game, and they end up winning game. Yeah, I think it was game 7. They end up winning that too.
In Golden State, Lou, the argument is weak because missing Draymond and you're on a 73-win team doesn't work. I said the series before in 2015 when Golden State beat LeBron in the very first meeting they ever had in the finals. LeBron did not have Kyrie Irving and did not have Kevin Love. He doesn't get that excuse for losing that series. Oh, well, LeBron lost. Well, he's missing those 2. But the Warriors the very next year get the excuse that Draymond missed 1 game. See how weak it is? I'm glad you do.
I don't think it was a third. I don't think it was a third one. I think it was like a 4th or 5th season after that. It was after Golden State won their first or second championship. If I'm not
when they won their first championship against LeBron, Kyrie Irving and Kevin Love missed the entire series. He had Della Dova as his point guard, dude.
That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about when he stepped over Green and Green got a technical. He got kicked out of the game he got kicked out of
It's
that
2016.
game.
I'm talking about 2015 for a moment. I'm comparing Draymond missing, killing the momentum.
No, well,
the 2015 when Kyrie and Love. How come LeBron doesn't get that excuse in 2015?
Well, how are you going to say that's your argument when I started the argument first and I said the reason why it happened was because Green overreacted?
What I'm saying is he missed game 6. My whole point is it's very relevant because Draymond Green being out is the reason that analysts, everybody say, well, the Warriors lost momentum. Really? 73-win team loses momentum for game 6 and 7. They get the excuse, every excuse in the book why they choked that series because of Draymond. My point is, then why doesn't LeBron get the same excuse in 2015, the year they first met up, their very first finals? Kyrie Irving and Kevin Love didn't play in the entire series, bro. So how is that not relevant? It is relevant.
No.
Relevant.
We established that the reason why that happened is because he's crucified. Once again, we already came up with the whole thing that
I'm just saying that Draymond is a week. It's weak. It's one game, Dre. It's one game. So he was back in game 6 and 7. They were that devastated.
No,
they're that mentally weak
that
they couldn't.
He was suspended for game 6.
No, he missed game 5.
Yes. No. Okay.
Yeah, he missed game 5.
Kicked out of. I thought it was game 5 or 4 or 5. He got kicked out.
Then the following game he was suspended. He got kicked out of game 4. He's suspended for game 5. So now you have game 6 and 7 that you have to recover from this devastation of missing Draymond.
And what happened?
Man.
That was it a momentum changer?
For that game, maybe. Not for 6 and 7. Come on, Lou. Come on, man. That argument's weak.
Oh no. My significant other's telling me to let you talk too, and I'm like, I'm letting him talk. I'm sorry. This is the basement. I'm going to say
we're in the basement. Anything goes in the basement, including Lou getting spoken to.
I gotta love you. Yes. He was like, why
including Lou getting spoken to, man. Everything happens in the basement. Anything goes. Yes.
I promise you guys.
He was trying to save you, basically saying that your point is weak and then stop.
No, hold on. Once again.
Yes, I'm wearing a Cavs jersey with a Jets hat on. Sorry. Go ahead.
Hold on. I got a couple of other stats.
Oh boy.
Oh yes. Oh boy, Johnny. I'm sorry. If you were sitting in the pool all day waiting for me because you wanted to tear me up. I understand. But like I said, and I'm gonna steal your line again, John. If you come from the king, you better not miss, right? You've always told me that.
Pulling up the wire. You're gonna put Jordan, huh? Come with the king, you better not miss.
Anyway, like I said.
I think we've beaten everything to death, Lou. I think we've beaten it all to death, man. If the 2 people that are watching this are still watching, we're lucky.
It don't matter, John. I love talking to you.
It doesn't matter. This is how our phone calls go.
Why me and you are doing this show is because this is what we do every day.
What we do.
People don't understand. I call you, you call me, and we argue every day. But I'll tell you this.
Waiting.
Black and red. Worldwide. It was Michael Jordan. Everybody knew who Michael Jordan was. It was a black and red background.
People don't know who LeBron is? Where are you going with this? You're telling me LeBron James isn't worldwide known? This conversation's going left. Maybe we should talk about the Mets. This is what you looked up all day. Please tell me not, man. Come on.
Nah, man. Like I said,
it's all right, brother. It's okay.
I don't dislike LeBron. I don't like Michael Jordan better. A lot of the newbies have never really seen Michael Jordan play live. It's a difference when you watch someone live and you're watching NBC or CBS and it's game 6, game 5, game 4, whatever it is, and this man is going out there and he's backing people up and he's boom. There was no zone back in the days. They were hand checking this man. They were fouling.
Listen, man, when it comes to old school, I agree with old school when it comes to football and all the harder hits, and I believe in a lot of that. I get it, man. I defend LeBron because the hate on him is so ridiculous that just say you hate him before you start telling me the guy sucks. Not that you do. I'm just talking in general. It just,
I agree. I agree.
Listen, because people will tell you the 6-ring thing, but then turn around and say KD's better than LeBron. Well, I'm like, if you're going by rings, and KD has two.
No.
He has two. So it's not even close. And a lot of people tell you that KD's better than. We're not going to turn it into that right now, but I'm just saying that's how my point is. That's how hated he is. So it's ridiculous. KD is not even close to LeBron. He's not a leader like LeBron.
He can't even hold the jock strap after what.
If you put KD on LeBron's Cavs teams, they wouldn't even made the finals, man. So that's just where I stand with that.
And on top of that, if you want to get technical, KD had his first 4 years, or maybe 5 years, had a better team that LeBron ever had in his first 3 or 4 years.
Yeah, and LeBron did beat him. I mean, when he was on the Thunder.
He had Russell. I'm sorry, Westbrook.
Yep.
And on top of that, he had what's the other guy?
James Harden. Yep. And Ibaka.
And Perkins, right? Wasn't Perkins on that
team?
team?
Yeah, Perkins was on that team, and Serge Ibaka.
Yeah, right. So he had a lot more talent. But at the end of the day, I'm still taking Michael Jordan over him.
Well, Lou, like I said, this will be a debate that everybody goes on and on. This definitely was, like I said, we're fans talking to fans, man. So there's just some great stuff, man. This is how we talk on the phone. This is how we talk about all sports. And we're going to continue to do this on the Johnny Basement channel for now. But eventually, Lou and I are going to break off and make a whole separate podcast channel. But for now, we're staying here on the Johnny Basement channel. Build a following with you guys. We're going to be on regular times. We're going to have actual regular set days that we're going to be on, so you guys know when we're going to be on. And this is all just, trial and error. Like I tell you guys, you're in the basement, man. Anything can happen. Make mistakes. We talk crap. Wives yell at their boy, whatever, man. It's what happens.
I said, was it Kevin Nash?
Right. We talk about Steve Nash, but hell, man, we throw the NWO in there. Kevin Nash.
Wait, John, don't run away. I did say that Clyde the Glide got a championship, and you said no. I don't know you're trying to backtrack, but it's okay.
I did backpedal on that one because my brain was on the Barkley Hakeem thing, but I mean, I did say no.
I'll tell you this: it's about you, it's about the fans, and if you have any polls, any questions, any arguments that you want, please let us know. Like I said, I'm not the greatest, I'm not the best, I'm not Stephen A. Smith, but I'll sit here and try and
But that's not what people come on here for, man. They want to come on here fans talk, not scripted.
I know.
Scripted.
But anyway, I want other fans to understand this. Don't be scared to bring up your point. Don't be scared to leave a comment. Your comment might be better than what you think it is. So please leave a comment, like, subscribe, and let us know what you want us to talk about, because we'll do that. That's what we do here.
We will, 100%. Yep, and trust me, they're not scared. There's some people that have told me I suck, or they throw hate, or whatever, man. It's all good. It's all good. I don't care. Like I said, I comment back to everybody. That's what it's here. When people take the time to comment on this channel, I take the time to comment back, whether it's love, hate, or hey, man, you called somebody the wrong name.
That's the difference, John. That's the difference. We're here for them. We're here for our fans.
Right.
We're here for fans. Fans talking to fans. That's what we do. We might make mistakes. We might get things right. We might get things wrong. But at the end of the day, we're talking to you, the fans.
That's right. You talk the trash, you bring it. Real fan talk. If you see me out around town, that's what I do. Real fan talk. I talk the same way I do now. So hit the subscribe button, hit the bell nose, and the like. Hit the like button, please. Hit it.
Please.
Hit it. All right. Lou Talks and I will be back again this week. We will be. And I will put in the comments what day that's going to be, because we have zero schedule, because we don't even know how the hell we got on here to begin with.
John, real quick, if you guys have something that you want us to talk about, please do not hesitate. Put it in the comments. We'll talk about whatever you want. Except John don't like talking about golf, tennis, or curling.
Curling. Come on. You watch that too?
I do too. Dude,
oh my gosh, man.
I even watched the Australia what's that thing called? The I forgot what it's called right now.
How about women's college softball?
It's already over. But I watch MMA, boxing. If you want to know about boxing,
But do you watch it? Is my what WWE and all that? But do you watch women's college
the,
softball? Do you watch it?
the homegirl from Oklahoma, from is it Oklahoma
watch it.
University?
You watch it. It's exciting, man. It's better than watching like the Pirates versus the Royals.
Any day of the week. Shorty from Oklahoma State, I think it was Oklahoma. Please don't quote me on this. Hit like 50, 60 home runs this year. Broke the record.
Johnny Basement, Lou Talks. We're out of here. We will be back this week. I'll leave it in the comments what day that'll be, because again, we don't even know how we got on here and make this work to begin with.
Michael Jordan is the best. He's the GOAT. Michael Jordan is the best.